Who actually needs an all-in-one box that claims to switch, stream, record, and touchscreen mix all at once? If you're running a single-camera YouTube setup or a small Twitch stream from your desk, the idea is tempting: one cable in, one box, one output to OBS or Zoom. But if you're already invested in a full ATEM Mini or OBS on a PC, does this Magewell Director 155260 save enough time or money to justify the price tag? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Most buyers fall into two camps. First, there are the creators who want to leave their gaming PC behind and stop wrestling with NDI drivers or OBS settings every time they stream. They're tired of the PC dropped frames panic mid-broadcast and want a hardware box that just works. Second, there are the small teams or churches who need a portable switcher that can also stream to Facebook Live and record a clean feed to an SD card at the same time. If you're in either group, the Director One can feel like a Swiss Army knife, except the blades are HDMI inputs, streaming protocols, and an AMOLED touchscreen. Let's talk inputs first. You get 2 HDMI ports plus 2 USB-A ports and support for up to 3 simultaneous inputs via Magewell's own software on a phone or tablet. That third input isn't a physical HDMI port, it's a network source like NDI, HX or SRT. So if you're thinking you can plug in a camera, a gaming console, and a phone at the same time, you'll need to use the USB-A ports for webcams or capture cards. The HDMI inputs are clean, but they're limited to 1080p 60 max, which is fine for most streamers but a deal-breaker if you're already shooting in 4K. If 4K is a must, you'll need to look elsewhere or accept downscaling. The 7-inch AMOLED touchscreen is the real game-changer for solo operators. Instead of squinting at a laptop or phone while you're setting up a scene, you can tap the screen to switch inputs, adjust audio levels, and even load graphics straight from an SD card. It's not a full-fledged control surface like a Stream Deck, but for quick program changes and previewing sources, it's surprisingly responsive. The downside? The screen is glossy, so bright overhead lights can wash out the image. If you're streaming in a controlled studio, that's not an issue, but if you're in a gym or a church sanctuary with harsh lighting, you might find yourself angling the box or using an external monitor anyway. On the streaming side, the box supports RTMP, SRT, and NDI, HX out of the box. That means you can push a single stream to Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook without touching OBS. The hardware encoder handles H.264 and H.265, so CPU load on your PC drops to 0. If you're used to OBS eating 30% of your GPU just to encode, this feels like a miracle. The catch? Bitrate control is limited to what the box allows, and if your upload speed is spotty, you won't have the fine-grained tweaking you get in OBS. So if you're in an area with inconsistent internet, you might still want a fallback PC running OBS just in case. Recording is where the Director One shines for creators who need redundancy. You can record the program output to an SD card while simultaneously streaming, giving you a local backup in case the stream drops. The box also lets you record individual sources to separate files, which is handy if you want clean ISO recordings for editing later. The only limitation is that the SD card slot tops out at UHSI speeds, so if you're recording 1080p 60H.264 at high bitrates, you'll need a fast card or risk dropped frames. For most users, a 128GB UHSI card is plenty, but don't expect 4K recording or long-form 4K streaming. Audio mixing is another area where the Director One punches above its weight. You get per-source audio level control and a built-in mixer, so you can duck music when someone speaks or route specific mics to different outputs. If you're used to OBS's audio meters, the on-screen meters here are basic but functional. The real advantage is that you can assign audio to different outputs, say, program audio to HDMI while sending a clean feed to a Zoom call without extra cables or software routing. So who should buy this? If you're a solo creator who wants to ditch the PC, stream in 1080p, and have a portable switcher that also records locally, the Director One is worth the $1,200 price tag. It's also a solid choice for small teams or houses of worship that need a single box to switch cameras, play media, stream to Facebook, and record a clean feed for later editing. The AMOLED screen alone saves setup time, and the hardware encoding means you're not burning GPU cycles just to stream. Who should skip it? If you're already invested in a 4K